Do you have problems? Most guys are overwhelmed by them. They whine and complain about their problems like a little girl. Pathetic. You can tell the size of a man by the size of the problems that brings him down. So if you can't deal with small issues, you're a very small man. You see, life is problems. Living is solving problems. And sometimes all it takes to deal with those obstacles are a few masculine habits. But before I tell you what those habits are, you need to understand something very important. Even if you solve all your current problems, new ones will come your way. It's a fact of life, so you better be ready for it. We will go over 5 masculine habits that will solve your problems. Number 1. Rule your mind. You have 2 choices: to control your mind or to let your mind control you. Most guys bring problems upon themselves. Their problems are self-inflicted because they are their own worst enemy. And the reason for this is simple. They don't rule their mind. And if you don't rule your mind, it will rule you. It will lead you towards problems, bad habits, and activities. Because no control over your mind means you have no control over your desires. And the worst thing about it is, you won't even blame yourself. Think about it. When is the last time you heard a broke man admit it's his own fault he's broke? Or an obese man say he's been a fat pig that eats too much? It almost never happens. They'll blame everyone around them before they'll ever blame themselves. Pathetic. As a man, you should always remember that you are the one that controls your thoughts and actions. You can really change because your reality is based on the way you think. I know this doesn't sound fancy. It's not some cheap trick. But controlling your mind comes before anything else. All self-improvement is meaningless garbage if you are a slave to your own mind. I want you to remember what I'm about to tell you. Our mind is truly powerful, and anything that's truly powerful has the capability to create amazing things or be very destructive. You are gifted with power, and if you don't control that power, your life will end up in shambles. Like you see with 99% of people around you. Now, let me tell you how to tame this beast called your mind. You have to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is a mental state achieved by focusing your awareness on the present moment, while calmly acknowledging and accepting your feelings and thoughts. I know this doesn't sound fancy. It's not some cheap trick, but it's extremely important. There are different ways to practice mindfulness. It could be taking a walk in nature without your phone, just being in the present moment, or by journaling and writing your thoughts on paper. Another way is by observing your breathing. You can do this a few minutes a day, just focusing on your breathing. There are many different ways to practice mindfulness and take control of your mind, and there isn't a single best way to do it. You need to find what works for you. But those that are glued to their phones will be unable to comprehend what I've said. So let me say this one more time. Rule your mind, or it will rule you. Number 2, make money. Making money is a masculine trait. And although money does not solve all problems, it solves all money problems. Like it or hate it, the world is run by money, and a broke man is a powerless man. Listen, as a man, you need to make money. It is one of your duties as a provider. Some people have already given up on themselves, and they cope. They'll say things like, money is the root of all evil, or money doesn't make you happy. Whenever someone says something like that, just know they are coping. They use an excuse to justify why they're broke or mediocre, because facing reality would hurt them too much. Pathetic. Every man should master the art of making money, and it's never too late to start learning. But if you cope with reality, you won't learn anything. Videos on how to make money will be made in the future. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss them. Number 3. Exercise daily. Most problems we have can be solved by just moving our body. It sounds strange, but it's true. You see, most of our problems are not as big as they seem. You may have taken something too personal or made it bigger than it is. Or perhaps you actually do have a very serious problem, but you are stuck overthinking it. You need to move. It will bring you a mental clarity that's unmatched. Listen, after exercising, you'll notice that a lot of problems will vanish because they turned out to be less significant than you made them out to be. And for the problems that do remain, because they are serious, you'll have the mental clarity to figure out a solution. Your problem-solving ability is sharp after you've exercised. Here's what people fail to understand. The mind and body are directly linked. You can't control one without the other. We humans aren't meant to sit still all day. We need to get our blood flowing. We need to release endorphins that delivers oxygen throughout the body. And if you don't move, you'll get brain fog. It will cloud your ability to think critically. So move. It doesn't even have to be the gym. It could be as simple as doing 20 burpees in a park. It can even be a brisk walk. Number 4. Natural foods. Stop eating garbage. You are not a little kid or a woman having hormonal mood swings. As a man, eat only with intention. What I'm about to say is very underrated, but the foods you eat directly affect your future. If you eat garbage food, your mind and body will literally be busy processing that garbage instead of being sharp enough to solve problems and achieve great things. Even if you don't eat snacks, but you just eat too much, it takes time to process those foods, and it will take away from your mental clarity. That's why I always say, hunger is a superpower. You are much sharper and get more done when you get to work while fasting. And when you do break your fast after getting some work done, do it with great natural foods. Do not misunderstand it. I'm not saying you can never eat a snack. Eating healthy is about balance. And balance with nutrition is not 50-50. It's more like 80-20. Meaning at least 80% of your nutrition should be natural foods that are meant to fuel your body and mind. And with the other 20%, you can decide to eat some other foods you like, but know are not good for you. Notice that I said you decide to eat those unhealthy foods, meaning you're not led by bad habits, but you consciously choose to consume snacks knowing it's not good nutrition. That being said, when you start fasting and only consuming healthy natural foods, your desire to consume snacks will diminish, because fasting makes you appreciate the taste of real food instead of garbage. Number 5. One problem at a time. After you've controlled your mind and stopped being your own worst enemy, and you exercise for optimal mental clarity, you need to pick a problem you want to solve for the day. Just a single task, whether it's related to making money, learning about something, losing weight, whatever it is, start with one. Most people become so overwhelmed by everything that they just procrastinate. They bite off more than they can chew and stop doing anything at all. Instead, write down a single task the night before you go to bed and try to break it down into smaller pieces if the task or problem is too big. This way, you wake up knowing exactly which problem to tackle for the day. Remember, it's not about doing the biggest task possible or solving the biggest problems in one day. It's about consistent progress, even if you're taking baby steps. Don't underestimate the power of small steps to build a great future. By the way, if you want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Until next time.